Behren, I guess just what's the transition been like for you, and what's it been like just to kind of get ready to the speed and kind of get ready for plays and everything?
Yeah, so last year was a little changing for sure, but I think I've adjusted well with the new staff. They've been great. Coach Kidley is big time. You'll hear that from all the players. We love them. We love to play for them, so it's easy to transition in that.
Coach mentioned it being a tight QB battle. How do you learn from the other guys that maybe have a little bit more experience in game?
Yeah, I'm one of the youngest ones in the room, so Tyler Shough, he's big time for me. Mentor, I look up to him. He's a great guy. He's played in Pac-12 championship before. He's played in big-time games, so just learning from him, taking bits and pieces from everyone in the room is big time. And I think that at the end of the day, it all turns out just to be learning, and once your time is here, you're going to shine.
Only 2 appearances last season. Where do you feel like you made the most strides this offseason?
I think with the new offense, just diving in, just in the playbook, just knowing ins and outs of the playbook, because last year was a big transition from a 3A offense going to a Power 5 offense. It's a big difference for sure. And just last year learning from transitioning, and now it's this year it's just diving in mentally, because physically going to be making the plays. You just got to know it mentally, and I think that's where I'm making the biggest strides this offseason.
And then going into the spring game next weekend, what kind of expectations are you looking to come out with?
Just to have fun with teammates. We've worked really hard this spring. This has been a long spring. I think we've all enjoyed it, and at the end of the day, I think that we're going to come out spring game. We're going to have fun. We're going to be competitive. We're going to be slinging around. So it's going to be fun.
And then a couple days ago, Rabbit mentioned you as kind of the guy who has a lot of zip on his ball. Was that one of the things you worked on this offseason, adding more speed to your balls?
No, sir. No, that just kind of comes with time. I think that working with receivers every day, just getting the knowledge of that and the timing down with that, and I think it all comes out to all that work is going to pay off after multiple hours of working with receivers, and I think it's going to pay off.
What's the biggest change from Sonny Cumbie's offense to Zach's offense?
I think it's just more complex. We do a lot more things up front that we have to know. A lot of learning defenses, learning coverages, stuff like that. And I think that has been the biggest improvements that we made from Coach Cumbie's offense. It's a similar offense. We're still going to be slinging a lot, probably even more. And I think that at the end of the day, it just comes down to knowing defenses and coverages and what to check and stuff like that.
More reads, though, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Anything else?
Just one. But I know with the transfer portal and all that stuff, how unique is it to kind of see 3 guys from last year return this year? And what does that kind of say about the chemistry of this team and just the quarterbacks altogether?
I think the chemistry with the quarterback room is top notch, best in the country. We all have respect for each other. We make each other better every day, and I can't ask for a better room, because we're doing stuff on the weekends, then we're doing stuff throughout the week that not other quarterbacks do, I don't think. And really thankful for this group, and couldn't ask for a better one.
Is there a receiver that you've been able to kind of build a better connection with on the field?
I think everyone's just getting a lot of reps right now, and so it turns out to just be whoever's on the field, you're going to build that chemistry, and stuff off the field too. Doing things off the field. I mean, it just all comes down to the reps that you get, and I think daily we're getting reps equally with everyone. So it all turns out just to be, just all one.
It's been pretty well documented that you grew up kind of as a Tech fan and got your picture made with Graham when you were how old?
Oh, kindergarten.
Kindergarten.
Yeah.
So what's the experience been like to actually wear the uniform?
Man, it's unbelievable. I love Lubbock. I love the people in Lubbock. Coming back home has been great, and I couldn't ask for a better community. All the support that we get at Texas Tech is awesome, and getting to wear the uniform is unbelievable. I mean, every day to wear the double T is there's nothing like it.
Getting to see the guys grow from last year to this year, what's been the biggest area of growth for the QB room?
Yeah, I think just all the time that we spend together, whether it's meetings out in the field, just because there's been 3 of us for a majority of the time in the winter and the spring, we've gotten really close. Spent a lot of hours working together, so we've had a lot of fun learning the whole new offense. We got a lot of control of it, like you were saying, so we've all just really connected, and it's been super fun.
What's the biggest difference in the offense from last year to this year, in your opinion?
It's our ability to control it. Everything kind of comes through us, so we kind of see what the defense is doing, then we attack what they're doing. So the theory is that we're never really in a bad play, and it's our job to get us in a good play. That's been the funnest part. It's the true, to me, it's the true meaning of quarterbacking is. So it's been fun. Coach Haley kind of gives us the keys to the car. So
could you elaborate on that a little bit in terms of
when you get to the line of scrimmage, are there multiple play possibilities you can check into one of three or one of two, or how does that work out?
So we kind of have like an arsenal in our brain, basically like what is good against certain coverages. So he'll call a play based on what he thinks. So most of the time, if that's confirming what we know, if we think we like it versus that, we'll run it. If not, then we can change it. So what he harps on us is if we don't check a play, that's a bad play that he called. So that's kind of the benefit. I've been in past offenses where you kind of run with those he calls and you just run with it because that's his offense. So his whole deal is that he's really flexible. He wants us to be in the best way possible. So that's why as a whole offense, we really respect him for it.
How readily, quickly would you say that you've grasped the concepts and what Zach wants you to do?
I say fairly quickly. I've spent a lot of hours, behind the scenes trying to do everything I can, watching film from Western Kentucky. It's very similar to Coach Cummings, but it's also different in its own ways. Same family, but he's so smart. He's done a great job of teaching us, but it's kind of like I said before, you got to put in the extra time to really master it. And, we've been in the winter and the spring, and feel really comfortable with it so far.
Last year you put in all the extra time, got the starting job, and then you missed the fun part of the season. What was that experience like for you?
Yeah, I think the fun part was the entire season because I got to learn so much from it. Like you said, you put in a lot of work from those whole 12 months hoping that it's going to work out, and you invest so much, and obviously it sucks when it doesn't when you get hurt, but what I learned from that is invaluable. The edge that I come out every single day, how much work I want to put in, knowing because I've been on the sidelines just wishing I could be out there, but I couldn't. So I think this year's been all about coming back from that and really just full investment into myself and this team.
So going off of that, how did the rehab process go, and how did it test you mentally?
Yeah, it was tough. Not gonna lie, I was really sad for a lot of time because you work so hard for it, and to be taken away like that, it gives you new perspective. So the rehab was great. Drew did a great job, and the whole staff. I had a greater appreciation for them, just because I spent 8 straight weeks in there trying to get back every single day. So it was obviously strange with the whole staff, getting fired and a lot of uncharted waters. So I was really thankful to have my teammates, my family, my friends around me. So I definitely learned so much from them.
And what are your expectations for yourself going into this year?
I just keep getting better. I just keep growing in the offense, keep growing with the team, keep developing. I'm having a lot of fun. It's been super fun this spring, kind of just connecting, slinging it around. So I can't wait for this summer, fall to keep going because it seems like every day I learn more and keep getting better.
And then obviously you've played in multiple offensive systems. So I guess coming in with Coach Kitley's offense, has it been easier or more difficult to kind of learn and get his system under your belt? I
think it's been easier because I kind of take bits and pieces from each offense and to apply it to this one. A lot of the concepts are same that everybody runs, just kind of how it's operating and when it's called. And it's our job, like I said before, to manage that. That's been the biggest difference, is our ability to check in and out of plays, to really see defenses for what they are a lot better. So that's where I felt like I've grown a lot this past offseason compared to years prior where, instead of worrying about what play we're running, you start worrying about what the defense is doing and you can check accordingly. So it's definitely helped me so far with past offenses, but this has been my favorite for sure.
And then being the most experienced quarterback in that quarterback room, just how have you been able to play, I guess, a more leadership role on the younger guys?
For me, we all do a great job of kind of respecting each other, but I feel like for me, I'm doing the best I can to put in that work to show the other guys on the team that, I'm ready to step up, ready to do whatever. Obviously this spring's about getting reps, learn as much as we can just because of a whole new staff on both sides of the ball, which, I'm just really thankful to go out there. Like I said before, I couldn't even go out on the field, so it's just, I got a whole new mindset coming out there to compete, regardless of who's with, who's out at receiver, who's under center. It's just been fun for me, and I know it's all going to work out.
Coach mentioned wanting to name a starter by the end of spring just for leadership purposes. Is there anything extra that you feel like you have to do to earn that position, or just keep doing what you've been doing? I
think just got to keep doing what we're doing, keep getting better every day. Just the leadership component, everyone's been stepping up. I feel like I've been doing my best to step up as well. It's been an awesome ride this whole spring, this whole off season. So really can't do anything extra, can't do anything less. You got to keep progressing.
Can you remind me, school and education-wise, you already have 1 degree, 2 degrees?
I have 2 bachelor's degrees, and then I'm finishing up my master's in the fall. So I only have 1 more class in the fall.
Yeah. So given that, how many hours a day are you able to spend on football since you are so far along in school? Aside from the however many hours on the field and with the team, how much you put in on your own?
Honestly, probably I spend maybe 10 to 15 minutes on homework, so 12 hours plus on football. So that's kind of been the biggest thing this whole offseason is that because I've been fortunate enough to be farther along in school. A lot of the master's classes that I've been, and I've been farther along in that, have been fairly easy for me because they're online. So the most of the time I spend is up in the facility, hanging out with coaches, learning, watching film, being with the guys on the team. So that's been really beneficial for me this offseason and continue in the summer because I don't have to take any summer classes and I only have one in the fall. So for me, it's kind of just I'm doing everything like I can to train like a pro, train myself accordingly.
And you're getting your master's in what?
Interdisciplinary studies. It's like a 3-pronged master's where you can choose different components and make it one master's.
Well, last year when you got here, I guess, the next 2 or 3 months after that, it was written that if you stay healthy and have a good season, you can be a first-round draft choice if you decide to come out. And obviously that wasn't able to materialize kind of out of your hands. Obviously you're trying to win for this team, but how much
is that in my head? Is that where you're
how much is in your head? How much pressure is there to take it back to maximize your ability to make the most of your talents to give yourself the best opportunity at the next level?
I mean, that's my goal. My goal is to get better every single day. So I don't have like anything in the back of my mind, or I'm just trying to get better and knowing that I invest in myself and progressing, invest in myself in this offense. That the Bailey Zappi's showing that you're going to have the shot to get it. He's obviously came and grown a lot from his previous school going into Western Kentucky and this offense, and then I've had my own story to learn from as well. So really just kind of keep growing, and obviously that's the goal for me personally. But my goal for this team is to win every single game, win the championship. So I think with team success comes individual success as well. So I think that's been the message for a lot of the guys on the team. The new energy with the coaches is that we're going to do everything that we can to get better together. And then if we all have success, then a lot of guys who want to go to the league on defense and on offense, that they're going to have the opportunity to do that.
Got anything else?
Tyler, along those lines, in terms of the quarterback room, just how unique of a situation is it where you've got all these guys that are essentially learning the same playbook? It's not kind of like you said, you kind of know a few things that are similar, but just everyone's got a guy that transfers in that doesn't know it. I guess how unique of a situation is that where you've got all the quarterbacks learning the playbook at the same time, or do you feel like?
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
It's obviously. It's a fresh start for sure. We get to all come in and really get to see for the whole offense to grow together in it. And it's not like somebody just came in and has more experience, but I think for us it's just diving into the playbook, learning as much as we can. It's obviously unique. We're all super, like we said before, we're all super close. We had a lot of fun learning it together, bouncing ideas off of each other, seeing what's good, what's not. So that's been the coolest part so far. Is like you said, we're all learning together and we're all trying to get better.
And kind of easy for you.
It's been really good, honestly. Just like the two said before, learning the new offense, we definitely had like our ups and downs trying to learn it. We had stuff to work through, going through the offense and everything, but definitely it was a lot easier than we thought it would be. First when you see the film, he goes over like the Western Kentucky film, you're like, man, what are these plays? What are they? How are we going to learn this? All this stuff. Like they said, Coach Kinley gives us the keys to the car, so we do whatever we want. So it's definitely been an experience, and we definitely learned a lot throughout the time of learning with each other. But it's definitely been a lot easier than we expected, and it's just been a lot easier, and we'll be able to see everything that we need to now.
Is there anything different for you, considering you have that dual threat ability? I know Tyler does it a couple times, and maybe Behren can as well, but is there anything different when any of you are on the field, or just in terms of the offense like that?
I feel like we all could run it just how Coach Kinley wants us to. We always say find easy throws, find grass. So basically just the checks that we need to check to, and just if you need to run, then run. But everything we go through Coach Kinley and what he taught us to do when we're out there on the field.
Do you set any specific goals for yourself in the off season, or is there any area specifically that you wanted to get better at during spring ball?
Yeah, so this spring ball, I definitely wanted to work on my decision making, which is always a quarterback thing that you need to do. But just decision making and definitely consistency has been at my top of the list of doing that. So each practice coming out here, no matter how I feel, no matter if I feel good or bad or something's hurting, just try to be consistent. So that's the biggest thing I've been working on.
So having that success and experience you had last year, what's your mentality going into this upcoming season?
It's definitely exciting. Definitely helps me getting more motivation this year to know what I can do, know who I can play with, and just gets me going. But also it allows me to stay humble with everything. Obviously, you get thrown into that situation, you have to success. Definitely test your character just to stay humble and everything you need to do. So just put my head down and keep working, because obviously I feel like I did everything I could do to help the team, but now it's just like that's been the past, it's a new season, so time to get back to work.
And coming off that ball win victory where you had a pretty good game, how are you able to carry that momentum from the game into the spring and just kind of go from there?
Yeah, I definitely feel like it was a confidence booster. Just seeing what I could do in that game. I watch it every now and then just to watch like, man, this is what you can do, this is what you do. And it just makes me feel good looking at it, but just also, like I said, just now it's going into the next season, so now just take what you learned from last year, the bits and pieces, the coaching, especially from the players, and just take that into this spring and keep working on it.
And obviously the QB battle between the three of you guys. Shough had mentioned like you guys have all stepped up in leadership roles among each other. But how have you guys been able to step up as a quarterback group with the entire team?
It's definitely when we feel like the group is down or like a little tired, when it's windy out here and just wind's blowing everywhere, you got to throw the balls a different way. It's just definitely just us saying like, hey, we got to take control. Each rep we go into, we got to say, hey, let's get the group going, let's get completions, easy completions, and just get the team going little by little, and just have everyone follow us. That's the biggest thing. So we lead the pack, and then everyone else follows us. We can do it.
And then what kind of expectations are you looking for next week in the spring game?
For the spring game, just consistency, like I said. That's the biggest thing I want to do, just have a consistent ball, good decision making as always. So just for me, just consistency, decision making, and score touchdowns, and that's what I want to do.
What have you seen from the receiving corps so far? I know a few different guys than last year. Have they been impressive with you so far?
Yeah, I feel like the whole receiving corps has definitely stepped up big time. A lot of people say we have a young team, but I feel like we have a young team, but we have a lot of fire in our hearts. So definitely everyone on the receiving corps has stepped up. Dudes you guys never seen before, but they definitely stepped up, and we're excited about it this year.
How much better does it make you as a quarterback having that experienced defensive backfield with Muddy, Rabbit, and all of those guys, and facing them every single day? How much better does that prepare you coming into this season? Oh,
it's great. It's great. We were just talking about that yesterday in film, just everything the defense is throwing at us. It's like not necessarily something we'll run into in the season, but it's definitely a good look at, so we know like everything that they're putting us through. It's basically making practice hard so our games will be easier. But those dudes are definitely a top defense, because just you guys see them at practice, they're all flying around, they're all sound communication, they know what to do. So it definitely makes us do our job really well. So it's a bit really a thing of iron sharpens iron with that. So it's definitely good to see every day. So we got to be on top of our game every day.
Donovan, what was your reaction when your dad went to the Giants?
Oh, it was crazy. I was more in shock. It took me a little second to realize everything was happening. Like, oh, you're gonna be a Saquon and all those guys down there. But it was definitely exciting. I'm proud of him because he's been working. I think he's been coaching for almost 25 years. This is like a coach's dream to go into the NFL. So it's like all that hard work pays off. So I was proud of him. My whole family's excited for him. So it's a big time.
Did you know, I don't know, a week or a few days in advance?
No, it was. I think it all.
Did you find out when other people found out?
Yeah, I think it all happened in like a matter of like 3 days from the point of like, hey, we're interested in you, and hey, you're hired. So it was just all happened so fast, but everyone's excited for him, everyone loves him, so it was a big deal for him. So
do you miss having him at practice, or how often do y'all communicate?
We communicate almost every day. He tries to check in because usually he's always at practice yelling at me. Sometimes he'll just yell at me in practice just because, but it's definitely been a little different with not having him there. But Sir Roderick and all the running backs, they make sure to yell at me, and Coach Perry makes sure to yell at me to throw the ball and everything like that, just to make it seem like he's there. But it's definitely been different, but different in a good way. So
when he came down for the pro day, was there a little weird feeling seeing him in all the Giants gear?
Yeah, I know. We always say he was always like a big time dude. He always dressed in design, always dressed up. But he's a cool guy. So it was regular for me, but it's just like cool to see like, hey, he's kind of setting the leadership role for me and my brother, just to see like, hey, this is what he could do. This is what we can do as well. So it was just definitely cool seeing him in that New York Giants at a big stage, a big level like that.
People wondered, some people said, well,